Hey friends, Isaac here. It's Tuesday, April 19th. Welcome to the Living the Dream Show with Kevin White. Kevin is a best-selling author,
international speaker,
and global brand publisher.
He's the founder and executive director of Global Hope India and the CEO of Spirit Media. As a serial entrepreneur, Kevin has helped start hundreds of churches,
businesses,
and non-profits
throughout the world. Put your hands together and let's welcome my friend and yours, Kevin White, to today's show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode, and I'm so glad to have my friend Jen back with me again today. She has read both of my books. What an honor. I'm so sobered that she and people around the world are taking my books and reading them and benefiting from them. But we are talking about the Writers Club with Kevin White. We introduced it last week on that episode, and if you missed it, you'll want to go back and listen in as she asked me some very pointed questions about it, and I had a chance to respond. But she's got more questions. Jen, welcome to the show. What else would you like to know about the Writers Club?
Well, thanks, Kevin. I had a couple more questions. I know last episode we talked about just kind of how you got into this, your heart behind it, what you hope to draw people in to do. So maybe we just talk a little logistically, like is there a time commitment to the club? Is there a cost? What are you hoping when people from start to finish, when they wrap up their time with the club, that they will have accomplished?
Yeah. Great question. And I love it because it allows me to cast vision. You know, starting to write is so intimidating. You literally write a sentence and then a paragraph and then a page. And before you realize it, you've got 15 pages. And then before you realize it, you've got chapters, and things begin to identify. You have an outline. You know what you want to say in chapter 3. At least I hope you do. And in the Writers Club, we're going to walk the writers through that process so that they're not walking blindly down this path. I remember feeling like I was in the dark, that someone had turned the lights out and had told me that I needed to publish my first book. And it was scary. It was intimidating. It was nerve-wracking. And I'd love to spare everyone in the Writers Club with Kevin White that kind of agony about it. And I want to cast the vision. Like, I have written 2 books that are an international bestseller. And if you would have told me that kind of vision when I felt like I was just doing some chicken scratch in paragraphs in a document on a Google Drive, I would have shook my head in disbelief. But it really will happen. And what happened was, over a 5 to 6 month process, I actually finished. So I started writing the first quarter of 2020, and things began to shut down because of COVID-19. I did not know that was what was going to happen. I used to be traveling back and forth to India 4 to 5 months a year with Global Hope India, and all of a sudden I couldn't travel. And our April trip that year was canceled. And so I just continued to write. And within 5 to 6 months, I had a finished manuscript. Now, it was rough. I just finished my 3rd manuscript, and this is like the rough copy of a 3rd manuscript. But then I was able to do a Kickstarter campaign and raise the money to turn my first manuscript over to Scribe Media, who then polished everything, did the cover, and typeset the entire book, and helped me to put it out on Amazon. I learned a lot by publishing my first book. Now, it was self-published, but I had a media company help me to actually publish it. Now, I noticed some voids in the industry during that. And whenever I had finished my second book, I really sensed a prompting from God out of Psalm 96:3, which says, "Publish his glorious deeds among the nations." And that word publish. And it's like God was just saying, I got you writing, but I have called everyone to publish. It's not just put down and store it in a laptop or a computer somewhere for eternity, but it is publish, make known among the nations the great things he has done. And I really began sensing a stirring that I could publish. And so when I published my first book, I had in November of 2020, it went live on Amazon as an ebook, paperback, and a print on demand hardback book. And when I published my second book, because of everything that I learned, it went live on Amazon in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook on the same day. And I put 700 copies in the mail that day because I had figured out bulk printing. And it just took off. And it has continued to sell, and it has helped to sell book number 1. And I am so excited about book number 3 now that I have written 3 books in 3 years. And so what someone gets out of the Writers Club with Kevin White is really a $500 a month value. They get a 30-minute Zoom call every single week. They get unlimited reviews of their writing, their manuscript. If you want to give one chapter at a time, you can. But expert editors with Spirit Media will review unlimited everyone in the Writers Club, everything that they have to review. You can get unlimited tune-up calls. If you do get stuck and you're not sure about something, you can request a 15-minute tune-up call at any time. You get access to Spirit Media's toolkit that has a writer's template in it for outlining your book, your keyword search for marketing your book, lots of other practical tools that take your book from rough draft to professionally published in all formats, everywhere, now, to the nations. And so it's a $500 a month value, but for this month, we're making it available half price. So it's $250 a month. I wish I had this opportunity when I started writing my first book. I would have gladly paid that and more because I realized the power of collaboration. It takes the pressure off when you realize that you get to be creative. God has called you to be creative, not necessarily to learn everything there is about the publishing industry. And you don't have to be a copywriter. You don't have to be the content editor. You don't have to be the proofreader. You don't have to be the graphic artist. You don't have to produce your own audiobook. You don't have to market and figure out Amazon ads and podcasting and all the branding and everything that you'll need as an author. You simply need to be faithful to God on the story He has given you and let the experts come around you to support you in your process. I actually spent way more money than I should have publishing my first book. I did way more for a fraction of the cost publishing my second book, and I will help everyone and myself to publish my third book and everyone to publish their first book or their next book through Spirit Media.
Wow, that sounds great. So if someone is listening to this right now and they're like ready to go, they're like, sign me up. This is what I've been waiting for. Someone who can just kind of come alongside me and help me walk this out step by step. How do they take that next step to engage and get signed up?
Yeah. So I am starting out with offering a free PDF. I really want to earn people's trust. I understand that while I am becoming known as an international author, there's likely many people watching this episode that don't yet know me. And so I want to offer a free PDF. You don't have to pay a dime. You go to spiritmedia.us and you have a free download to the 7 steps to telling your story. The full URL is spiritmedia.us/7, the number 7. And that will take you to the page, and you just share with me who you are, and I will give you this free download of 7 steps to telling your story. Look over that, pray over that, consider the opportunity to build support around this calling to write a book and accountability. You know, one of the differences between starting a manuscript and finishing it is accountability. We don't like it. It's like a root canal from the dentist for a lot of people, including myself. But it's like having a personal trainer. If you really want to run a 5K, not just survive it, but to actually finish in one of the top 3 positions, you probably need to invest in a personal trainer. And I don't want to just write a book and keep it stored in my laptop forever. I want to fulfill that calling of God to publish his glorious deeds among the nations. And so I need accountability and I need structure. A book has structure, a front cover, a back cover, a table of content, a chapter 1, an introduction, chapter 2, chapter 3, all the way to the conclusion. That's structure. And so your writing is called by God as you are called to write. It's called to have structure. And the Writers Club with Kevin White will provide both accountability and structure to everyone that is being called to write. Maybe you're not being called to write, but you know someone who is being called to write. And the Writers Club with Kevin White is for you or is for them. But it starts by taking that free PDF. If you take that and you say, yes, this is something that I agree with, I want this accountability and structure, then I invite everyone to take a free 15-minute consultation call with me personally, one-on-one. It's a Zoom call that we will have 15 minutes because I want to know you. I want to know your story. And so that 15-minute consultation is all about you. I want to know you. I want to hear your story. And then I will share with you the details in full about the Writers Club with Kevin White, inviting you to join as a member. You'll then have the opportunity to actually subscribe. It's $250 a month to join the club. And I will guarantee if you will follow my guidance and join the club, you will end 2022 with a finished manuscript. I want you to hear that. You can actually, this year, not 5 years from now, 2 years from now, you can finish 2022 with a finished manuscript in your hand, ready to be edited and published to the nations. And so part of the incentive that I want to offer everyone joining the Writers Club with Kevin White is everything you contribute in that monthly subscription, the $250 a month, will actually go toward your down payment of publishing your book, professionally publishing it. And I don't mean halfway. I mean better than any other publisher on the planet. Every format, ebook, hardback, paperback, and audiobook, every format, everywhere, all 16 Amazon marketplaces, every online store for ebooks, every online store for audiobooks, everywhere. And it will be published very quickly. When we have a finished manuscript at Spirit Media, it takes us 6 months from start to finish to get it to the nations. And that is one of the fastest times in the industry. Now, we offer a fast pass to make it even faster for anyone that needs their message to the nations now. And you can talk to me one-on-one about that if you're interested in Spirit Media's fast pass. But for now, I just want you to go and take the free PDF.
That sounds great, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jen, for your time. Thank you for these questions. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to introduce you to the Writers Club with Kevin White. And so I encourage you to go and download the free PDF, 7 Steps to Telling Your Story. I'll see you back next week on the show. God bless you all.
3 billion people still have limited to no access to know about Jesus. Just how many is 3 billion people? It takes 1 second to say hello to one person. If you wanted to greet 3 billion people, it would take you 100 years of saying hello nonstop. Global Hope India has been empowering local churches throughout India to provide access to Jesus to the 1 billion unreached souls in India. You can make a difference now at globalhopeindia.org. That's globalhopeindia.org.
Thank you for listening to the Living the Dream Show with Kevin White. Visit kevinwhite.us and join thousands of subscribers to Kevin's free daily 1-minute motivation series called Generously Blessed. Generously Blessed. Kevin's books Audacious Generosity and Get to the Point are available in hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook at kevinwhite.us, worldwide on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and everywhere books are sold. Your 5-star review on Amazon will be greatly appreciated. This has been Living the Dream with Kevin White. Find the complete archive of all episodes at kevinwhite.us or subscribe for free through your favourite podcast player and never miss an episode. This program is copyright Kevin White International Incorporated. All rights reserved. Each week, we bring you a message of living the dream as people of every nation, tribe and tongue worship Jesus together on earth today as it already is in heaven. Remembering the gift of God's presence through Jesus Christ is accessible to everyone. Join us again next week for Living the Dream with Kevin White. Living the Dream with Kevin White.